What's up? How you doing? Here we are, Friday, early morning, end of the week. So, got some Starbucks here. Nice tasting Starbucks coffee. And we're going to sharpen some knives. All of them except this one here, because this one's already sharp. I haven't used it yet. So, but, you know, cleaver sharp also. But since I'm here, I'm going to add to the sharpness. Have a little. I have a better sharpener inside, but for what I'm doing here, it's good enough. This one is good enough. But I have a better one that makes things razor sharp. This one does too, but that one just a little bit more. So this is a Smith's, and established 1886. The 1880s, great music back then. Got the Serbian knife here. Sharpen that first. Definitely feel the difference. Yeah, you can even see it. Put that there for a minute. So now as a kid, in the fourth grade was the first time, my teacher had announced that he was leaving the school. I don't know what the reason was. It looked like it was on good terms, maybe he got a better job, and that he was going to be replaced by some other teacher. So that Friday that he was going to be replaced, the new teacher was there, and I happened to go to the school. We had a field trip. We were supposed to go to the skating rink, which was a couple miles away from my school, but I got dropped off at school. My parents were not aware about the situation, so I get in the school, it's empty. I go to my classroom, there's two people there, my teacher and some other lady. And when I get in there, my teacher said, "Oh, Nick," he goes, let me introduce you. You're the first student to meet your new teacher, Mrs. McCarthy." I met her there. She was like, "Oh, hi." She had these little tiny hands, looked like little mouse hands. And I shook her hand, and then I got a ride. Somebody was there at the school. They gave me a ride to the skating rink. It was my first time ever. The night before, I told my father, "We got to go get ice skates. Otherwise, I'm not going to be able to participate on this field trip." So we went to the store that was a few miles from my house, and it had CCM skates. And I grabbed them and put them on, got on the ice the next day, and I couldn't find any friction there. I kept, slipping and sliding. So anyway, that day I noticed that my teachers, all of them, were skaters. And then I thought maybe in the old days that was part of the thing, learn how to skate. But no, it was just that probably they liked hockey or something. Anyway, from that point on, I started going like every weekend for 2 years. And then somebody said, you ever sharpen your skates? And I thought sharpening your skates was like making them sharp like a knife. So one day I was walking by a sporting goods store, and they had a skate sharpening service in there. And I watched the guy take the skates and one of those wheels that you can cut locks with, and he put the skates on top, and he went back and forth. Sparks were flying everywhere, and he gave him, I don't want to say sharpen them, but he gave him like a grip. Gave him like you know, a rougher edge. So I said, oh, that's how they do it? So I immediately went home, because my father had one of those same things, and I started taking my skates and going back and forth, and I think I did a decent job. Put them on the ice. They felt like they, you know, were gripping the ice more. But then after that, at some point, after the 7th grade, I never went again. I never put skates on. That was it. A couple of years. So, good memories though. This knife is much easier to put through. It's almost like it's made for this. Remember in the 70s they had those commercials, Ginsu knives. They'd show an Asian guy, Japanese guy, you know, in the karate stance with his karate gi on, with the black belt, and he would kick a watermelon, and they would say, what does it say? Something about the knife wasn't designed to do that. Oh, the foot wasn't designed to do this or whatever. But the Ginsu knife was, and then they take this knife and they would cut these thin sliced tomatoes. Meantime, that's like an American company. There's no such thing as a Ginsu knife in Japan. Japan has probably the best knives when it comes to cooking, kitchen knives, anywhere in the world. The best quality, best steel. They retain their sharpness. They cost thousands of dollars. You can buy a knife and it'd be like $2 grand for a knife. So I never thought even back then that Japan was behind the Ginsu knife. If you go to a Japanese cutlery store, each knife is like over $1,000, $2, $3, $4, whatever. Very expensive knives, and they're known throughout the world as being top of the line. So just a gimmick, and you see nobody buys those. Anytime you see knives being sold in the middle of the night on an infomercial, you know that the quality's not going to be good. That's it. This one here we don't sharpen because it's brand new, and I mean, I've had it for a while, but I've never used it. So same thing. What's the difference if it's in a store for 6 months, or, you know, never used, or if you have it at your house for 6 months never used? Same thing. But I'll show you. Comes in its own case. Gladiator Series Galstrong. sharp. This is good for you know, when you go to the butcher, or not even the butcher, if you go to Costco, and they have those big sirloin steak racks, whatever you want to call it. Take one of these, measure if you want to get it nice and thick, 2 inches, and you cut it with this thing here. It's got these little indentations to prevent meat from sticking. But yeah, good knife, and it's best when you buy the steak in that quantity. You get a better price. Although steak is expensive anywhere you go now, price has gone up. So yeah, cool knife. Comes in its own little carrying case. But it's factory sharp. Factory sharp. That's it. Now we do something different. Okay, I put the knives inside to wash, and yesterday I briefly talked about seeds, pumpkin seeds, and that when you get them here, they're of a different quality. These are from Greece, and I found the packet that they were in, Mavroutzis, which is Greek, Mavroutzis. I highly recommend these seeds. Very good quality. I could eat a pound of these. Every time I sit down, I could have a pound. I always say I'm gonna have a few. I might have a few, you know, like before dinner or something, and then I have 1 or 2, and I get called for more. Before you know it, I'm eating a big bowl of these. So they're very, very delicious. I think it's the roasting process. Good flavor. Thing is that you could probably find these without the shell, and I bought them without the shell many times, but it's not the same. There's something about eating them out of the shell, the cracking, the little bit of salt that you get, that makes it a better experience than just eating them clean. Eating them clean, you could eat them with a couple of spoons back and forth, and you know, I mean, I like it that way also, but the slower version of eating these seeds is much more appealing. Very good. Now, if this guy or woman or whoever owns this store was near me, I would be in there once a week buying a few bags. But it's far. They should have a website on this. They don't have a website. It's the year 2022. 2022, get a website. So that's it. Just wanted to mention that.